This holiday, BMW has reunited 3 members of the family at the BMW Road Home Sales event. The Agile X3, engineered for any adventure. The plug-in hybrid X5, commanding the streets with unmatched presence. And the all-electric i4, charging into the future with impeccable performance. Hurry in to find what powers your journey at the BMW Road Home Sales event. BMW, the ultimate driving machine.
Visit Valley BMW Center today for attractive lease and finance offers.
How to have fun, anytime, anywhere. Step 1. Go to ChumbaCasino.com.
ChumbaCasino.com. Got it.
Step 2. Collect your welcome bonus.
Come to Papa welcome bonus.
Step 3. Play hundreds of casino-style games for free.
That's a lot of games. All for free?
Step 4. Unleash your excitement.
Woohoo!
Chumba Casino has been delivering thrills for over a decade. So claim your free welcome bonus now and live the Chumba life. Visit ChumbaCasino.com. VGW Group. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Gobble. What's up,
That's
everybody?
How we lost all our listeners.
Every listener we just had said, I'm out of here.
I think something's wrong with
wash
my
my
phone.
hair. What's up, everybody? It's Matt here alongside with Lauren for another episode of Hops Geek News, your home for comic books, movies, TV shows. And today I am dressed in a giant turkey onesie because, yes, we are talking Thanksgiving sitcom favorites. This is episode 245, Thanksgiving week. It is the week we all just go to our family's house. If you have family and, it's just more stress than it is fun. And so we want you guys to have fun and think about all of the good Thanksgiving episodes that some of our favorite shows have given us. But if this is your first time listening or watching on YouTube, by all means, stick around, like, subscribe, share, follow. That is how the podcast can grow. Drop a review if you would like. And then if you like what you see here, by all means, support the show, patreon.com/hopsgeeknews for as low as $1 a month. You can help support this wonderful turkey that is sitting in this video if you have video up. But no, seriously, never any stress. We like to do things such as send a welcome package to our Patreons. You get into a Patreon exclusive chat, and then we do a monthly movie watch party with our friends and patrons. So with that said, if this is your first time, we'd like to go into what we've messed up on, talk about our beer of the week. It don't matter if you don't like craft beer because we just talk what our beer of the week is and we roll into what we've read, watched, news, and then our main topic. So what my beer of the week comes from Massachusetts, baby, because I am going back home to Massachusetts. This is from Widowmaker Brewing. It is called Widow's Peak, actually. It's Thanksgiving. It's kind of the end of fall ceremoniously, even though technically winter doesn't start till December 21st, but it's a good hazy IPA, 6.3% from that wonderful, wonderful brewery right out of Braintree, Mass and Boston, Mass. They have a couple locations. I will probably make it there. If you're on our Instagram, any of the 50 million social media threads, you'll probably see pictures from me at some places like that. But Lauren, hello. Is that a Spirit jersey you got going?
Oh, no. Actually, you were with me. I got this at the outlet. It's just a sweater.
Oh, I didn't know what you bought. We bought a lot of stuff.
I did.
My son picked up
like $20 at the outlet. It's so soft.
Ooh, I like, what?
Disney outlet for anybody who's
good
unaware.
Outlet.
Awesome.
It's hard to really beat like a good soft crew neck or a good soft like shirt or hoodie. God dang, just can't beat it.
I figured it was like Thanksgiving-y colors. Although when we do
we match kind of. Only I'm a turkey.
You have my hat.
Oh, I better run.
Okay. Yeah, right. It's to eat me.
Oh God.
Program Matt is a turkey for those just listening.
Not good. Not good for business. But what's your beer this week?
My beer. I think you gave this to me.
Ooh,
it is from Breakside Brewery in Portland, Oregon.
I did.
Thought you did. Okay.
Beer fun. Keep drinking fun on Instagram. We linked up. He works there. And he sent me those. Yeah. And so I brought some with me when I went to Orlando, and I wanted to bring you a couple that he sent because they were for both of us.
Very cool. I was confused when I saw Portland, Oregon. And that's because you said Massachusetts. And I'm like, oh, I wonder if this is Massachusetts. So this is quite delicious. And I picked it because it says Western Harvest Time. So we're doing some harvesting for Thanksgiving. But it's a fresh hop IPA. And it says brewed with friends from ISM Brewing. And I really just wanted to drink out of a tiku, but it does kind of go with it because it's my Calusa glass, and Calusas were Native Americans in Florida. So,
oh yeah,
There you go.
Next week, you will be able to talk all about the good weekend you had at Supernatural Con or Creation Con.
Yes,
Supernatural.
I go tomorrow. Like tonight, I can't drink too much. I want to be like, I'm dropping the kids off at school and going straight there. And Garth,
peace out, nerds.
Kicking off the festivities.
It's exciting.
So
Can't wait. Cannot wait for that. That'd be exciting. It's gonna be exciting. But speaking of cons, let's go into what we've messed up on. Now, you've heard us talk about Priscilla Presley the last couple of weeks.
Apparently, we knew nothing.
We knew nothing because when I mentioned that she was going to be at MegaCon, even my wife was like, oh, yeah, I feel so bad for her. Like, apparently, plethora of problems. Their marriage was awful, aside from the fact that she was very, very young, and we didn't realize it. But she was 14 when they started dating. He was 24. He served in the Cold War, so I was wrong about that. But also, like, after she had a kid, like, he wouldn't have sex with her, but he kept her around, and like he just went and cheated on her everywhere. So Elvis was a pretty messed up dude. All right. I
mean, look at how he passed away. He clearly had issues.
Died on the toilet doing drugs. I feel like that's just, if there's a higher power, that's laughing at you for all the messed up stuff you did. But
he still goes down like as a legend.
Or did he die because Bruce Campbell, as famously in Emotep, if you've ever seen that movie, Bruce Campbell's like Elvis in a nursing home, but he forgot his memory and stuff, and they're fighting like this mummy and whatnot. Oh, dude, it's
wouldn't Men in Black? They're like, Elvis didn't die; he just went home.
Yeah, but God, yeah, that's all I want to talk about. Elvis, very, very problematic. Jesus, God. But let's roll into.
Though, Graceland was absolutely amazing. It's like a music museum. It's got a lot. It's a lot of American history. They have like a tombstone for his twin who did die, and his name was Jesse. Uncle Jesse's named after him.
Oh,
so
I never knew he had a twin.
Well, the twin, I believe, died in birth. I don't think
that
it was like an actual,
That's
so
sad.
Sadly, but that was a nod to Elvis naming Uncle Jesse because the baby's name was Jesse. But Graceland was still really cool, and it's still such a symbol of American culture. But then you also go to it was also cultural appropriation. But let's not go down that road. What did you read or watch this week?
Well, yes, I read or watched. I watched a couple. All right, man. Netflix be dropping some bangers so far this year.
Jesus.
I watched.
All right, get your Hallmark nonsense out of the way.
Hot Frosty. Watch that. All right.
Didn't we already talk about that? I feel like
we did. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, man. I watched Meet Me Next Christmas. Now, this one is weirdly focused on pentatonics, and
I like them.
I like them, but they came out it was hard to get a read because in the movie they seemed like jerks in the movie, but then they weren't jerks at the end.
Christmas music, right? Okay.
Yeah, but I couldn't. It was weird. They started them out seeming like they were jerks, but then it was a love story where she met this guy in an airport. She had a boyfriend. He was like, well, her favorite music group is Pentatonics. So she goes every year. He's like, meet me there next year. If you don't have a boyfriend, It started out oh, interesting. And then from there, lo and behold, she comes home and her boyfriend's cheating on her, because.
So could you say that last Christmas she gave him her heart and the
apparently
very next
so
year?
Yeah. Do you know who's actually in this movie? You might not have heard this name in a while, but Christina Milian is the star of this movie.
Christina Milian.
As Layla. She was a big time music artist for back. Oh God, it was the early 2000s, man. But she still looks good. Good for her. But she links up with Teddy, who basically is like a concierge for tickets because Pentatonic sells out. She's got to do everything she can to get these tickets.
A good horror movie.
Probably. But she's got to do everything. She's got to get these tickets to Pentatonics to meet the love of her life. Or is that guy at the airport the love of her life? I don't know. You'll just have to watch the movie and find out. I also watched A Reason for the Season. Now, this one was on Hallmark.
Is it about Jesus?
The other one was Netflix. No, this one. So this girl,
This wasn't about Jesus, but he's the reason.
No,
for the
man.
season.
Cosmetology Jesus, maybe, because the mom. It starts with the mom. She's trying to start a cosmetology business. She stops in this town. She has her daughter there and they save her life. And so she just gives back to this town anonymously. And now her daughter's grown up. This is much later, 20, 30 years later. And essentially she's like, in order to get your trust fund, as Lauren's playing elevator music in her head, she has to go back to this town anonymously.
I was singing in my head
because you were going
Oh.
She has to go back to the town anonymously. They can't know who she is and find out what the one Christmas wish is. And from there, she learns all about Christmas and the meaning of giving and all that kind of stuff. But you know what? They did a couple things in this Hallmark movie that I was surprised because when the big, gasp, you're not who you say you are happens, spoiler alert, they don't make it a big deal. They're like, yeah, we knew. no big deal. We're going to help you with this. The love interest and everything. It was like, oh, wow. They actually didn't play into the whole
Maybe
like
learning from like shows like Ted Lasso that you can have
maybe.
heart and not
Yeah.
be nonsense drama.
It
Well,
was
speaking
it was
of
awesome.
Messiahs, I'm going to say one of the things I watched real quick before you
Oh
mentioned
yeah.
more Hallmark
What do you got
movies.
there? That was my last
Deadpool
Hallmark
and
movie.
Wolverine Assembled. So the making of Deadpool and Wolverine. It's so good. You get even more
was it?
fun facts. I absolutely loved it. It was so cool to just see more behind the scenes of Deadpool and Wolverine, more interviews with everybody. And I loved when they talked about like, you know, they really went into how are we not going to taint the Logan movie. Like Logan ended so well. And Feige said, he goes, when we were killing Iron Man, our goal was to have that moment be like when Logan died. And I absolutely loved that so much. And, you know, obviously they brought him back and tainted his death, but they did it in a beautiful way.
But they did it in like a funny way, okay? Like
100%. They nailed it. They killed it. No pun intended.
Acknowledging the fact that they were going to desecrate like Logan because they could not live up to that was, come on, man. I mean,
it was genius. Absolutely genius. But what was interesting too is, you know, so many people are like, is Ryan Reynolds even in the costume ever? And a lot of the behind the scenes, you see him and you know it's him because his eyes are cut out for a lot of the scenes because they CGI the eyes moving. And so it was really cool to get to see them. And yes, it is Ryan. I mean, he's not dancing to Bye 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 and he's not flipping around. It was really cool too because they showed the like Bye 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 dancer and then how he's like flipping over and you see the like strings attached to the guy, but this guy's still like, you know, these stunt guys are still flipping all over the place. They may have strings and there may be mats, but it's still so impressive. So
it is.
If you enjoyed the movie at all of these, I believe there's one for Agatha too. Don't quote me on that, but the behind the scenes.
I thought there was. I'm pretty sure there is. Yeah, they do one for every show.
Yeah, they do. There was another. Yeah, okay. But the assembled things are always so good. They're so entertaining, and it's just so fun to see the behind the scenes. I will double check that, but I feel like it is. So, all right.
You watch something else though. Like before we get to what we're both reading, because we have a couple things that we've read together. Why don't you talk about the other piece of pop culture you watched? What?
I am going to say, okay, I'll do that in just a second. So I just pulled up my Disney Plus to double check that. And I just recently changed it. You can change it to Deadpool, Wolverine, and Dogpool. Cool. And Josh, as I changed to Deadpool. But what's funny is it says Daddy. So it's Deadpool and it says Daddy, which I just think is hilarious.
Okay, that's good. Oh my God, that's hilarious.
So the other thing I watched was Dune Prophecy. So that just came out. Just episode 1. It's on HBO Max. It's going to be dropping every Sunday. If you liked the movies, I think you will like it. It is basically the origin story of the Bene Gesserit. And I guess there was a trilogy of books that came out not too long ago. And they are loosely kind of based on that. But it's like 10,000 plus years before Apollo Atreides was born. And of course, the mission of the Bene Gesserit is for the prophecy not to be fulfilled. But, you know, in preventing a prophecy, do you therefore fulfill it? It's kind of what is going on.
That's one of those things, right? Like that is always really interesting. You're like, if you're talking about a prophecy, you're looking for it to be real in any way that, you know, it's confirmation bias, essentially. Things that you have this bias and you're looking for it to be real in some way or another. But, so I don't know. I like Dune, but I don't know if I like it enough to watch the show necessarily. Which is funny because I got you to watch Dune for the first time recently. Yeah. Now you're like, I'm watching the show. I'm doing this. And your review is on Nerd Initiative and everything like that. So you can go check out the video of Lauren's review. But I'll
be doing those weekly. This week I didn't review the episode so much as to kind of just like catch people up because it's. Oh, yeah. But I feel like reading confusing. I think reading the first book made me like the movies more.
Well, yeah, that would be fair. That's like Harry Potter. Regardless of the piece of shit that writes those, I probably will not watch the new show because she's so involved. But I read them and then got to see them in theaters, so I have like this deep love of Harry Potter. But let's go into what we've been reading, such as the Rocketfellers issue number 1 from Ghost Machine. Yet another Ghost Machine banger is out. This is Peter J. Tomasi, Francis Manapul, and Rob Leigh. Man, if you're not familiar with Ghost Machine, you know, Jeff Johns, Brian Hitch, Peter J. Tomasi, Francis Manapul, like they have such a studded cast of just people, and Jason Fabok. Like they've done Geiger, Redcoat, which is one of my favorite comics of runs of the year. Rook Exodus.
Oh my gosh, there's only one out.
Hyde Street. Hyde Street issue 2 comes out this coming week when this drops. So happy Thanksgiving to us all for Hyde Street. You got to read that horror comic
can't wait.
book. Hornsby and Halo also comes out this week, which is going to be exciting. But they have like a genre, every genre essentially. Like, why don't you take us into essentially what the Rocketfellers really kind of is about?
So the Rocketfellers is a family from the year 2500, and they have to escape very quickly. We don't fully know why yet, but they escape to our year. So they're in the year 2024. So this is a futuristic family that are very relatable because they're still a family, but they're here today, and they are actually hosting a neighborhood Thanksgiving party to meet all their neighbors. And of course, there are things they say and do that are a little off, like the grandfather's like, I'm 125 years old or something. But it is so much fun. The art is absolutely gorgeous. It's very action-packed. And the way it ended made you immediately want to be like, okay, what is that? Because they like show you why they had to flee, but you don't know why. And we actually, Megan and I from Vigilante Vibes, this week we interviewed Peter J. Tomasi, Schneinberg. I even asked him how to phonetically pronounce his name. I have it written down here somewhere.
How dare you?
Schneinberg. And I know, I'm terrible. And we interviewed Francis Manipal, and the three of them some of them worked on Rocketfellers, some of them worked on Hornsby and Halo. And it was so much fun. So that full interview should be up on Nerd Initiative at this point, and we'll probably have it on our podcast.
It'll be up on our audio before long too, so you can go and listen to that. I highly recommend. I mean, God
this is
bless.
Already got like sold out. So when your comic book shop gets again, tell your comic book shop, because like some of them aren't even realizing these are Ghost Machine comics because they're so different than Geiger and Redcoat and everything. So yeah,
that's always it, because it's Image. But Ghost Machine's like their thing, but Image also puts it out. And man, I love the coloring. I love the fact like this family, it's kind of like a Jetsons meet the Robinsons type kind of family. And there's just beautiful like artwork in there. If people like one shot like splash pages, definitely check this out, and check out Hornsby and Halo for New Comic Book Day. Aside from that,
So I did read Hornsby and Halo. And so, there's actually 2 comics that come out this week that I did read. So Hornsby and Halo, like we said before, is Ghost Machine. Were you going to say something else about reading something?
No.
Okay. Sorry. I thought I cut you off. I did cut you off, but I thought I cut you off in the middle of a thought. Okay. So Hornsby and Halo, if you don't because it sounds weird. So what it is it's a demon child that's being raised by good parents and a angel child that's being raised by bad parents, and heaven and hell intentionally did this to try to teach the children empathy so as to stop the constant war of heaven and hell. So it's absolutely like fantastic premise, nature versus nurture kind of thing. So go pick that up this Wednesday.
That is, I'm just a human raised by humans, but it's dudes, pick these up. And then speaking of, we also read Armored together from Clover Press and our friend Michael Schwartz, which if you know anything about Armored, essentially this kid Andy gets adopted. His parents had died. He goes to this family who lost their son Miles just under mysterious circumstances. He goes to this castle and is just bebopping around, finds this amulet, which unleashes this ghost William, and he gets this mysterious armor that's like Iron Man, like almost around him. It's medieval armor, but it comes around him kind of like Iron Man's armor does. And on this issue, we got demonic presidents. Those are different story. Demonic presences. And also we have some demon zombie children at the same time. Things are getting pretty spicy, if you will. I really like this issue. What did you think?
No, it's a lot of fun, and it's definitely getting creepier. But what I love about this comic is like it still maintains its humor. Like there's still, moments where you're like, "Ha, that's funny," and like it sounds super creepy saying like demonic, presence and whatnot. And they have black eyes and everything, and the art is like watercolor-esque, which almost makes it seem creepier. But it is like an all ages comic. Like it's not gory, it's not inappropriate. Like I would have no issue with like my 12-year-old reading this. Of course, my 12-year-old loves horror, so maybe she's a bad example. But I don't feel like I feel like it's something an adult and an older child could both enjoy.
Oh yeah, it is. It has like that essence of like I talked about. I mean, I don't want to relate it to like Goosebumps or anything, but Michael did write a film for R.L. Stine, or on behalf, not for R.L. Stine, but it was an R.L. Stine story. But it is very much that like it has adult elements in it, but also like that campy, childlike horror feel in a way that really resonated with, if you grew up with Goosebumps. So highly recommend picking that up. 2 more comics for me this week that I read. Batman and Robin Year 1 Chapter 2. This has very much Batman animated series vibes. It's very 90s vibes. Bruce Wayne, they go to basically be like, why he just is adopting Dick Grayson for publicity. They go to his house to check on him. Yeah, he's all fine.
It's not just like people just are saying that.
That's what like the adoption agency thinks he did, right?
Oh, okay.
And,
that's what they think he did.
No,
Okay.
no, that's what he think they. Meanwhile, like there's a montage of him training Robin, getting mad that Alfred's shooting rubber bullets at Robin, and he took a long time to get to the gun and all this, and it's just funny how that back and forth is. But you see some tender moments too, like Bruce really does care for Dick, and you could
Still
see
child
that.
abuse. He's doing, though.
Yeah, like Dick Grayson runs into a fire at one point, and Batman thinks he's dead, and you see this like this look of fear wash over Batman's face that I thought was excellent. So Mark Waid is writing that one, and then the last I have is for Image Comics. It's The Moon is Following Us. If you might have heard me talking about this one, Daniel Warren Johnson, who he's writing about Duncan and Sam, whose daughter Penny fell asleep. She's in this dream world. The Cascade has taken her in this dream world. They found out where she's at, so they're going after her, and Sam doesn't think that Duncan has what it takes. It doesn't want to do what it takes to get their daughter back, and it's very much like as a male, as a dad, he's reserved in his feelings and reserved in showing his fear and things like that, which I can relate to as a dad. I mean, sure, and this relates to whatever, but there's a really big shocking twist that happens in this book that I don't want to spoil because it's like, oh wow, that's pretty crazy. So I very much recommend that you guys go ahead and pick that up. Like I said, Mike Spicer, Daniel Warren Johnson, Riley Rossmo, really, Sean Lee is on letters. So stellar team. That's what I've done reading. Do you have anything else before we roll into news?
The only other thing I have is Black Canary, Best of the Best. This is, you may have already listened to our interview. We had it up on podcast platforms with Tom King and Ryan Sook. This book is absolutely fantastic. Again, it comes out Wednesday.
Oh, yeah, I did see that. I was going to review that.
You should. Review. It's so good. It should already be in our email too. It is like going back and forth. So basically it's going to be a 6-issue run, and Black Canary is going to be fighting this. Oh my gosh, I'm already blanking on the name. It's fighting this other character for the best of the best in the ring.
It was her sister. I remember you talking about it. I listened to the interview that you guys absolutely crushed.
Yeah, it wasn't her sister because she was, I believe she was Asian.
There's a boxing match going on.
Match.
Anyways, go pick it up. If you want to see what happens or you want to know what happens, pick it up. But forgive Lauren.
I know.
Let's get mom back to the nursing home. This is going on a little too long.
Yeah. But they go back and forth with the relationship with her mother, who was the original Black Canary, and then they go back to the ring. And the art in the ring is so good that it's like there was a scene that was like created a visceral feeling of like getting punched in the stomach. The art was so fantastic. And then to see the relationship, it's like you want to live up to your superhero mother, but how much trauma do you have from growing up with a superhero mother who has such high standards for you too? This book is fantastic. I cannot wait. We got to read the first 2 issues. Again, it was Megan from Vigilante Vibes and I. Go pick this up. Like reading this is like, okay, I do need to read more DC comics because I'm always biased towards Marvel. I did pick up Absolute Batman #2 yesterday. I haven't read it yet,
what a killer comic. Oh man, I can't wait to hear your thoughts of that. But let's go to some news, man. Speaking of Batman, some news that we have. The Batman 2 will be out October 2nd, 2026.
Okay, this irritates me. How long this is.
Oh yeah, get mad. Why are you mad?
Especially after Penguin, because that is ridiculous. Like 2 years after the Penguin ends. And when did this movie came out? Like a year and a half ago. 2022. It
was 2022. It was supposed to come out again.
Came out 2.5 years ago?
It was supposed to come out 2024, but the writer strike pushed it, right?
And he got COVID and that delayed it originally.
Right. And if it wasn't for the writer strike, I don't think we would have had Penguin though. So like some good came out of it. But you're right, because they haven't the script is allegedly finished. But here's the problem, right? Robert Pattinson is supposed to be filming a movie for Christopher Nolan in 2025, but also filming this movie in 2025. So I'm very nervous. You
better hop to it. He's still young.
I have faith. I mean, I have faith because he's older than I think he's like 36. I don't know. But
I have no idea how old he is.
I do have faith because the fact that they are pretty much done wrapping Fantastic Four gives me faith that they can
Marvel moves faster though than DC.
Yeah, but we're under a new regime. We don't know yet. They're supposed to be dropping a Superman trailer in December. But speaking of DC, Lauren, I believe we have some other DC news about a favorite silver helmeted wearing anti-hero.
Peacemaker season 2 will debut in 2025. I'm excited for this. I do need to rewatch. Maybe we'll do like a recap of season 1 because before it comes out, they don't have a set date. So 2025, that's 365 days that it could come out. But I do feel like he's a hero. He just is, he's not the brightest hero. So sometimes he ends up becoming a bad guy. But I mean, that's so good. The thing that I'm frustrated with though is didn't James Gunn say that some of Peacemaker would be canon to this new universe and some wouldn't?
He says it is. So he says it is canon, but just not the Justice League parts.
So not the
final episode part. Yeah.
Fish Aquaman.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
well, that was the
I
best
guess.
part. Not the best part, but that was funny.
I don't know.
So Suicide Squad Peacemaker is a no-go.
No, that's
canon.
I don't know, dude. I don't know. We'll have to figure that out. That's a good
question.
We need to
get James Gunn on and ask him these questions.
We need to ask James. Honestly, like I don't know. It's kind of confusing because some things are and some things not. And he answers a bunch on Twitter. But moving on from that,
maybe we just need to do some research.
Well,
we'll take care of all of that before Peacemaker comes out.
Don't worry. We got you. We got you, boo. And Alien Romulus is actually coming to Hulu on November 21st, which if you have not watched Hulu, or if you haven't watched Hulu, if you haven't watched Alien Romulus, dudes, do yourself a favor, man. I loved that movie. If you like the original Alien, this does a good job. It's really, really good job.
This holiday, BMW has reunited 3 members of the family at the BMW Road Home Sales Event. The Agile X3, engineered for any adventure. The plug-in hybrid X5, commanding the streets with unmatched presence. And the all-electric i4, charging into the future with impeccable performance. Hurry in to find what powers your journey at the BMW Road Home Sales Event. BMW, the ultimate driving machine.
Visit Valley BMW Center today for attractive lease and finance offers.
Really enjoyed this.
I need to watch all of them except the first one.
What?
Like I haven't even seen the Michael Fassbender ones. Like I feel I need to maybe this summer.
You don't need to watch those ones, Prometheus.
I love Michael Fassbender.
Since you're going to take this last news, I want to take this one. Kevin Smith has begun brainstorming. Keyword on brainstorming. He hasn't officially started writing anything. He hasn't reached out to anybody. He is brainstorming. Stomp, stomp, stomp.
He has concepts of a plan.
He has concepts of a brainstorming.
I stole that from somebody's comment under his video. That was not my original brain.
Well, he does.
Power
yes. There is a Dogma sequel maybe being conceptualized in the brain of Smith.
Look at your wings.
This
is an episode worth watching on the YouTube just for your wings. Oh
I'm Batman.
Remember in
this reminds me of Riddler. No, like
yes!
Riddler, like
at the very end.
When he's in Arkham, he's like,
I was thinking of Pugsley and Addams Family, where he's like, "Eat me," and then they fly the kid up, and he has like the wings on.
Yeah,
that's movie quality turkey costume right there.
It is. It is.
So our last piece of news is just some more MegaCon updates. Sir Kristen Cole, who I absolutely hate in House of Dragon, which means he's doing his job.
You're right.
Will be there alongside with Matt Smith, and funny enough, Jenna Coleman is now joining the cast of Doctor Who people.
Doctor Who's going to be there, man,
alongside Matt Smith. So the Impossible Girl herself. It looks like they're having a decent turnout for Doctor Who people, which is really cool. I'm hoping we get a good panel. Tabby's already like, I'm buying the panel if it comes out. Like that's one we don't want to miss. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
that's pretty cool.
It is. I very much agree. Like that'd be a cool panel because I not seen Matt Smith or Jenna Coleman at a con. Like they've gone to cons together, but I haven't seen them.
I don't think I've ever seen Matt Smith was in New York, but New York Comic-Con was not like
well, they're not like
we can go see this guy. Like they don't all have panels and stuff, and you can't just like walk up to them. Like it was It was not like anything I've ever seen. It's like they were just there for autographs and pictures.
Yeah, right. And it's a very different con than what you would normally think of.
I think MegaCon, all the guests have panels. I think they all do.
Yeah, I think they do too. GalaxyCon, they actually, honestly, man, panel wise at GalaxyCon, we only had like Kyle Higgins on a panel. Like the only reason why Kyle Higgins had a panel is because we invited him to ours, which I think is I don't like that model. Like they only really paid attention to like the massive actor guest on the main stage, but they didn't give anybody else like on Artist Alley a panel unless
I feel like that's a huge missed opportunity. Maybe the artists need to reach out and be like, hey, can we have a panel?
Maybe they don't want a panel. I don't know. But I feel like that'd be a better way to get your stuff across to an audience. Yeah. Like, oh, this guy's doing a panel. I'm going to go check it out. But
when I went to quite a few of the
major marketing
in New York. No, but the comic book panels in New York were all really good.
They typically are. I prefer those more often than not. They're kind of intimate, if you will.
Yeah. And they're more, people are more into it. It's like a more enclosed sense of camaraderie kind of thing.
It is. It is. Speaking of what people are into, do you know what people are really into, Lauren?
Porn.
Well, okay.
I don't know. What are people really
Sitcoms,
into?
Man. Jesus.
Oh, sitcoms.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, we'll be
too.
right back after a message from these, not our sponsors, but we're hosted by Spreaker, so we have to put ads into the show. Fast forward if you want.
Whatever the adventure, there's a BMW engineered to take it on. The X3 delivers a striking design with agile performance. The 100% electric i4 packed with pure electric energy. Or the plug-in hybrid X5, an impressive, versatile SUV granting full control on every journey. Choose what powers your next adventure during the BMW Road Home Sales Event. BMW, the ultimate driving machine. Hurry in for exceptional offers through January 2nd. Visit BMWUSA.com for details.
Step into the world of power, loyalty, and luck.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
With family, cannolis, and spins mean everything.
Now, you wanna get mixed up in the family business.
Introducing The Godfather at ChumbaCasino.com. Test your luck in the shadowy world of The Godfather slot.
Someday, I will call upon you to do a service for me.
Play The Godfather, now at ChumbaCasino.com.
Welcome to the family.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
All right, we're all set for the party. I've trimmed the tree, hung the mistletoe, and paired all those weird-shaped knives and forks with the appropriate cheeses. And I plugged in the Bartesian.
Bartesian?
It's a home cocktail maker that makes over 60 premium cocktails, plus a whole lot of seasonal favorites, too. I just got it for $50 off. So, how about a Cosmopolitan or a mistletoe margarita?
I'm thirsty.
Watch. I just pop in a capsule, choose my strength, and...
Wow. It's beginning to feel more seasonal in here already.
If your holiday party doesn't have a bartender, then you become the bartender. Unless you've got a Bartesian, because Bartesian crafts every cocktail perfectly in as little as 30 seconds. And I just got it for $50 off.
'Tis the season to be jollier.
Add some holiday flavor to every celebration with the sleek, sophisticated home cocktail maker, Bartesian. Get $50 off any cocktail maker at Bartesian.com/cocktail. That's BARTESIAN.com/cocktail.
We'll see you in a sec. We're going to kind of bounce around. We've both kind of got a list of things that we have.
Ooh, you went deep, man.
I don't personally like Friends isn't my thing. So Lauren will probably be more Friends. I'm going to start mine off with a very good show that I love that a lot of people loved it. I was almost canceled a couple times. Parks and Rec, season 3, episode 7, The Harvest Festival. Now, technically the residents of Pawnee never actually celebrate the holiday during this episode. However, the Harvest Festival is actually pretty close to Thanksgiving. And so Leslie Knope is determined to make this year's event the best one yet, because you know Leslie Knope, she's always got to go big. She's like me. She's committed to the bit. She's got to go big. And however, things actually take a turn when a Wampanoag tribal leader puts a curse on the event and little Sebastian gets loose. I believe this is the episode where Lil Sebastian was a little excited most of the filming, so they had to put like a cover over his Lil Sebastian. Yes. Lil Sebastian was a little bit excited.
Lil Sebastian ain't so little now, is he?
He was, for a miniature pony, he was pretty stoked. I mean, Aubrey Plaza was on set, so can't really blame him. Have you seen her in, as Death? Jesus. But yeah, I love Parks and Rec. It's very much, not
I love
outright a Thanksgiving, but that's the essence of what a Thanksgiving episode is, as we'll kind of dive into this, right? Like, to you, they don't really do this on shows a lot anymore, because growing up, as we did, allegedly, once upon a time, they would have these shows and you were always guaranteed a Halloween episode, a Thanksgiving episode, and then some sort of holiday episode before they went on break. And then they would come back in the spring. Like, they'd have their fall finale, which, because nobody's watching over the holidays, so you'd get those and then you'd come back in the springtime. They don't really have those anymore. Like,
well, it's hard now when you drop everything at once and it's
streaming,
like, people are gonna binge it, and because it used to be events and like, it's Christmas time, or it's Halloween time, and they drop them all, the week before all the festive episodes. And I remember like TGIF or Must See TV or whatever would do like, tonight it's all Halloween, and like all 4 episodes from 8 to 10 would be all Halloween or all Christmas or all Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and it's again, like, that's how you can kind of like look forward to different points of the year. So that's kind of why, like, I really have a fondness to Thanksgiving episodes personally. Like, I don't care about Thanksgiving, the holiday, says the guy wearing a giant turkey outfit. But what would be one that you pick from your list?
So I feel like we love sitcoms because there's really not many Thanksgiving movies, but mine is 100%
There's really not.
Friends, because they had 10 seasons, and other than season 2, every year their Thanksgiving episode was one of the best episodes of the year. So I don't know how much Friends you can handle, but I got a fun fact from each season.
Come on, give me the fun fact. We love fun facts here. Come on, what we got?
For those watching, I have all 10 seasons on DVD. This is the only show I have. This DVD is so old, you can see that Kaylee pulled it down one day and chewed on it. Kaylee's now 21.
Oh my God, let's not do
And
this.
she was like teething when she chewed on it.
We don't need to do this.
Yeah. Well, I pulled them all out to take a beer picture with them. So season 1 was the one where Underdog gets away. So, they all go outside to watch the parade, and Underdog's they're all inside and they're like, Underdog flew away because they're in New York, quotations. So I really don't have fun facts for this one, but it did kick off the tradition that Friends would always go above and beyond, other than season 2 with the Mocklet episode. So cut to season 3, the one with the football. The Geller Cup came about this. They had the little trophy on top of the thing with the Geller Cup. It was so fun. So in this episode, Phoebe actually wears a shirt that says That Girl, which is from the TV show. And the star of That Girl is Marlo Thomas, and she actually plays Rachel's mom. There's also this girl named Marga, who's like Dutch or something. And she's being
I don't know, Margot.
No, Marga, because she had the heavy accent. Well, I hope they figured out why the carpet was all wet. But what was funny is this girl had such a strong accent, and then she told everybody she was American, and the crew was shocked because her accent was so. I don't think it's great, but apparently they were all blown away.
Oh, interesting.
Season 4. Chandler's in a box. Why is Chandler in a box? Because he did something not
What's
nice.
in the
He kissed
box?
Joey's girlfriend. It was Chandler. That's who was in the box. So the fun fact from this is Joey's teaching Rachel how to curse in Italian, and she says "Va fa Napoli," and so that's the Tuscan equivalent to "go to hell," which literally translates to "go to Naples." I guess they don't like Naples. I don't know. I guess
okay.
Tuscans don't like Naples.
For a second there, it sounded like you said "go to nipples," and I was like, Lauren, again, what the hell?
I don't know. There is an episode of Friends called The One with All the Porn. So season 5 is the one with all the Thanksgivings. That's always fun to see the flashbacks. So this is actually a sweet and sad fun fact, because obviously, we lost Chandler Bing or Matthew Perry. So after Matthew Perry passed last year, David Schwimmer posted a photo of the two of them in their 1980s suits with the sleeves pushed up. And David Schwimmer wrote, "This photo is from one of my favorite moments with you. Now it makes me smile and grieve at the same time. I imagine you up there somewhere in the same white suit, hands in your pockets, looking around." And then he wrote, "Could there be any more clouds?" So that was really sweet. So Phoebe is one of the outcasts when they do flashbacks, because she has no real connection to, they went to high school together and knew each other in high school, or college roommates and whatnot. So Phoebe's Thanksgiving flashbacks are really stupid, and it's all her past lives. So one of her past.
Lisa Kudrow, a lot of people didn't really like her too much. Is that the case, or they just?
I liked her. She just. Okay. I mean, Friends today, when you go back and watch, it's not the best show. They're all very toxic. None of these. I mean, come on.
First of all, how are they affording this stuff by working at a coffee shop in New York City? But that's neither here nor there.
And they make a joke in the very last episode. They're like, how did we afford this place? Rent control. They make a joke in the very last episode of the whole show. But yeah, and the creators have even said that there's no way these people would have been able to afford these apartments in New York on the salaries of the jobs they did. Maybe Joey when he was at the height of his Days of Our Lives career. But so Phoebe's flashback, she was always in war as a nurse. And so in her Thanksgiving 1862 flashback during Thanksgiving, isn't totally historically accurate, as Thanksgiving wasn't declared a national holiday by Abraham Lincoln until 1863.
Oh, really? Okay.
Phoebe's math is not great.
No, apparently not. All right.
Do you want to do another one? And then I'll do the last
you know what? I'm going to do this
Let's
one.
mix it up a little.
I picked this one for you specifically, actually. Believe it or
Dexter
not,
one?
I'm very thankful. It is Dexter season 4, episode 9. Okay, well then you probably have fun facts then. Yes.
I love that episode.
It's Thanksgiving season, and while everybody else is hungry for turkey, Dexter is hungry for blood. Blood.
No, he's hungry for knowledge about Trinity.
I know. In this episode, he takes a deep dive into the personal life of Arthur, aka the Trinity Killer. The result is an intense showdown over the most awkward family dinner. Yeah, this was like the peak of Dexter, okay?
Yeah.
This is before things kind of went downhill a bit. This is peak freaking Dexter. The Trinity Killer was the best arc in this show. One of the best arcs in television.
It had the most shocking wrap-ups.
Yeah, it was so oh my God, don't even get me started on the wrap up, because
I remember that scene being I remember how I was sitting on the couch and being like, no, that was.
I don't want to spoil it, because there's a new Dexter show coming out, and if people decide to go back, I don't want them to know what's going to happen.
Fair.
But just know, the Trinity Killer. That's if you go back and watch Dexter. come on, man. Well, I guess that's not really a secret.
They're
very
open. Name.
I know, but like it wasn't really a secret. But it is such a good arc because you think John Lithgow from, he's like a happy dad in the sitcoms that he's in, right? I guess I put this one in. It's not a sitcom. I don't know why I included Dexter into a sitcom. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I don't know why, but when I thought of Thanksgiving
episodes, what's funny about murder, kids?
I did think about this one though, because I genuinely really like this episode because there's more than what's going on with the Trinity Killer, because
the narrative drill. Yeah.
Well, yeah, Rita's hosting Thanksgiving too. The whole house is decorated for Thanksgiving, and like the neighbor kisses her. And I remember, I don't know if it happens in this episode or the next one, Dexter then threatens the guy, and like it made Rita happy because Dexter doesn't show emotions often. So when he saw him get mad at the neighbor, it made her happy. And I just, this was the bait. Harrison was a baby, but I also love because this show takes place in Miami, even though it's California. For me, usually in sitcoms, Thanksgiving is cold, and that's not relatable for me.
Yeah, that's right. Because this is Miami, so sure, yeah.
Yes. So growing up in South Florida, this felt more like Thanksgiving too, even though there's murder. But it's such a great episode. I loved Dexter until the end. But I can't wait for the new one.
Not every show gets to.
I'll never give up on Dexter. Sorry, guys.
I haven't watched.
I can't learn.
I watched part of New Blood, but that was it. Some things I can't go back to. I'm going to go to the next one. It's a great time to
rewatch it because it's Christmas.
I do want to go back to this next one real quick before you go back to Friends, because somebody on Threads, yes, we're on Threads, folks, because that's where the cool kids are now, said Bob's Burgers. And I love Bob's Burgers. Carrie and I are big fans of Bob's Burgers. And this one in particular is Bob's Burgers Season 4, Episode 5. Thanksgiving appears to be going well for Bob and the family until Bob discovers that somebody put his turkey in the toilet as a holiday prank. If you're looking for something the whole family can watch and laugh at, this is like the episode. Like, this isn't Family Guy where you can't really let your kids. Bob's Burgers is like kind of an all ages kind of show. Thanksgiving appetizers like stuffed mushrooms, mini cheese balls are perfect for keeping guests satisfied before the main meal. Obviously, they own their own kind of like burger joint. So it's just funny. Carrie was also like Tina. She has a picture. She looks just like Tina as a kid. So like the Bob's Burgers is just one that's like close to our heart. It's very dad humor a lot of ways with Bob himself. You recognize the voice of Bob because he was in Archer. He was the voice of Archer in that show. If anybody's seen that show, but Bob's Burgers, man, like that show. What else you got? I've seen lots of
clips, and I'm like, I feel like this would relate to me.
It's one of those like you put on and fall asleep to.
Gotcha. That's where I just have more friends. Are you ready for more friends?
Okay, I get it. You're popular. All right. Oh, you meant the show. Yes, go ahead.
Season 6, the one where Ross got high. I love watching these older shows when they talk about weed, where it's like...
Yeah, like a big sandwich. That's how I Met Your Mother used to call it.
See, that was great. That was absolutely fantastic. They got around the censors and they weren't treating it like it was like, ooh. Well, they did a little bit. But in Friends, like they weren't getting high anymore. They did make some jokes about weed, but it's funny because everybody knows somebody who uses it regularly and they're a perfectly fine citizen.
Look,
Joey, at one point, this is the one where Rachel makes the trifle and the pages get stuck together and the trifle's 2 different recipes. And so there's a point where Rachel's like, I didn't do it right. The pages were stuck together. And Joey yells, Chandler. So this was actually an ad lib by Matt LeBlanc. And the writers said that this was probably the dirtiest joke that was ever in the show.
Really? That was it? That was the dirtiest joke?
The pages were stuck together.
I know, but I feel like you could have... Okay. That was the dirtiest joke. It was the 90s, man. Whole different world. We had FCC to abide by.
The FCC won't let me be or let me
Let me be me.
So let me see. So season 7. But it feels so empty without me. The one where Chandler doesn't like dogs. This is probably the least exciting one and not really worth talking about. Okay. So there is a scene where they say, we learn that Ross hates ice cream. However, in a past episode, you see Ross eating ice cream and he looks happy. So a friend of mine is actually Erica's little brother, Ryan, and I used to play a game where we would message each other inconsistencies on Friends. There are so many. The show is so inconsistent. Rachel, I think, meets Chandler on 3 different occasions, and all 3 times she acts like she's never met him before, and he does the same. So that's all I got for season 7. Well, I think that's one of the things I love about Supernatural, because then you'll be like, holy shit, were they planning this for 5 years? Or like they'll have something pay off like
there's always a payoff. Like, yeah, there is. I really appreciate when a show pays off. like that.
Yes,
for sure.
Yeah, because then you know that like the writers are paying just as much attention as the fans, and then I feel like it validates us.
Yeah, I'll give you that one. I'm gonna dive in real quick because I got this one for our boy DT. He's been doing a Gilmore Girls rewatch. My wife loves Gilmore Girls, and I went and toured the WB lot where Gilmore Girls was filmed, and so I had to put this one in there, man. It's Deep Fried Korean Thanksgiving, season 3, episode 9, where Lorelai's parents expect the girls for Thanksgiving. And so do Lane, Luke, and Sookie. So how do they handle 4 enormous dinners? They don't exactly, however. It's at Emily's and Richards, where to Lorelai's dismay, Rory reveals that she has applied to other schools besides Harvard because Lorelai wants, her to stay
and because
close.
Harvard wouldn't let them film there.
That too, yes. It was also, yes. This is one of my favorite episodes, or not my favorite, but like Carrie's favorite when I asked her, one of her favorite episodes of Gilmore Girls. And it really just captures the spirit of the series as a whole because it's got the fall vibes, man. If you're just going into that town of Gilmore Girls there, it's got the fall vibes. And obviously, it's Gilmore Girls. Like everybody loves kind of Gilmore Girls.
I've never seen it, but I know so much about it.
I do
have
too.
A lot of friends that are into it.
It's like saying Carrie was rewatching it for a while, and I like would not pay attention, but apparently I remember a lot. So there's that one. And then I want to throw in a sitcom that I personally really followed for a while and loved, especially it's New Girl, season 2, episode 8, Parents. Now there's a few. I could have chosen that one, or I could have chose the Justin Long episode, but I like this one a little bit better. When Jess's divorced parents, Bob and Joan, show up at the same time for Thanksgiving dinner. Now Joan is actually played by, can you guess who?
Marlo Thomas.
Jamie
I have no idea.
Lee Curtis.
Oh,
she's
wow.
Mom. Yeah, Jamie Lee Curtis is in this one.
Has she ever done a sitcom before?
I mean, she's popped in. I mean, I guess if The Bear gets nominated for Emmys for that, then I guess technically, even though I wouldn't consider it a sitcom, but this is when Jess takes the opportunity to try and parent trap them into a reconciliation. As you can imagine, her plan backfires. Jamie Lee Curtis is Jamie Lee Curtis in this one, man. She's great. I will always love Nick and Schmidt and the entire New Girl cast. This is such a comfort TV show that if you haven't watched, man, really do. It's fun. Zooey Deschanel is amazing in it. She was like my dream girl back in the day, right? She's the specific rendition. Elf kind of, but like this specific.
She does share your affinity for elf culture.
She does. I just mean like her character in New Girl for some reason. Like, I don't know, man. Does it for me.
Cute.
But yeah, it's not serious. She just has a good time. But this episode, this show in particular,
it's wholesome. I don't
really
know why.
Good. Yeah, wholesome. That's the word I was looking for.
Wholesome.
Thank you. Back to Friends.
Back to Friends, the one with the rumor. So also known as the one with Brad Pitt. So Pitt was
in the show?
Yeah, he was in this episode of Thanksgiving, the one with the rumor. It was obviously when he was married to Jennifer Aniston at the time. This was the only time the two of them ever acted together. And he was a surprise to the audience. So they were like advertising it as a big celebrity was coming on or a big movie star. And they didn't say who. And his name in the show is Will, which is actually his real name. His real name is William Bradley Pitt.
Okay.
So the premise of it, since you've never seen it, was, Monica was overweight in high school, which they love to make jokes about, which none of which aged well. And even in her fat suits, she's not even that big.
Okay, but like,
anyway,
messed up.
And Courtney Cox is like super duper duper skinny. So like they put the fat suit on her. And,
yeah, she is so
giant by any means. Like she's not comically large, but of course they always make fun of her. So Brad Pitt was her fat friend in high school. And of course he now doesn't eat carbs. He doesn't eat anything with sugar or anything like that. And of course he's gorgeous. And so they play on that the whole time. And he hates Rachel because Rachel was apparently mean to him. And Rachel's like thinking he's hot and he hates her. And him and Rachel started a club called the I Hate Rachel Green Club. And this is when Rachel's pregnant with Ross's kid. So then she's, they make a comment like, you're having a baby. He's like, wait, you knocked her up and you're not marrying her? High five. It's probably none of it aged well, but it's a good episode. It's funny.
A lot of sitcoms from then probably didn't age well overall. So let's be honest.
Yeah. But this was 2001. And because it was a comedy, they never specifically mentioned 9/11. However, because it takes place in New York, they started putting a lot of things, places, and a lot of nods. Like you would see like Rachel would be in her pajamas wearing like a New York police or fire department shirt, kind of things like that. Cool. So in this specific episode on the Magnadoodle, which was on the back of like Joey and Chandler's door, or at the time, I think it was Joey and Rachel's door. They had a basketball stylized as an American flag, and there's an American flag on the wall. So I thought that was, I remember watching one of these with the commentary, and they talked about that. They're like, we weren't really sure how to approach it, but we knew we couldn't completely ignore it. I mean, when you have a comedy, that's a hard thing to balance.
Oh, it really is. Yeah.
Like the show takes place in New York. You can't just
ignore something that large.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they did take the towers out of all this because, you know, in between the scenes, you always see the New York skyline. So they took that out from season 8 on.
Well, interesting. Right. Okay.
So season 9 was the one with Rachel's other sister, which is Christina Applegate. Reese Witherspoon was supposed to come back. She couldn't. She was busy. So Christina Applegate filled in and she won an Emmy. So kudos to her.
Good for her.
That was the one where all the plates broke and Christina Applegate and Jennifer Aniston started fighting. And then season 10 is the one with the late Thanksgiving. And this was the very last episode ever to feature just the main 6 friends. And there's your wrap on Friends.
Interesting.
I'll be there for you.
I've got 2 before my big finale.
When I was 11. It's so crazy. All right, go for it.
I've got Smallville, which their episode of Ambush, the young Superman that turned into the Man of Steel. He had a couple of Thanksgiving episodes, including one called Rage, where the proceedings come to a screeching halt for Clark Kent to wax poetic about how it's his dad's favorite holiday. But another one, the one we're talking about here is Ambush, does what heroes couldn't do, and that's bring a bunch of superhero characters together in a feasible way for a family meal. We have General Sam Lane, who is the father to Lois Lane, rallies against superheroes and talks about trying to pass a vigilante registration law. And unbeknownst to him, his guest will eventually become the greatest superhero of all time. Yeah, that's kind of like our first time we get like a Justice League kind of type thing together, you know, bring a bunch of superheroes. It's Tom Welling.
They did cute little things with that. And then Flash was so young. Barry Allen was a kid.
My God. Like everybody in that show, it's so funny to look at their costumes that they had that weren't costumes, but they were colored like they were.
And then what's his face was Aquaman, Reacher, and he's not a good actor in Smallville. He's a good actor now.
Oh, that's right. He was Aquaman. I was thinking the dude from This Is Us was Green Arrow.
Yeah, he's Green Arrow. Justin Hartley.
What's his name? Adam Richardson or something
I
like
don't
that.
know,
Yeah.
but I love they had him going to University of Miami, which I thought was so fun.
Well, he was in Blue Mountain State.
His colors are orange and green, like his costume.
Yeah.
And that's the colors of the U. So I thought that was so fun.
Ridiculous. And then I have another superhero one, which is the 1978 Incredible Hulk Homecoming episode. Now, of course, we can't seem to figure out what the MCU is doing with the Hulk. However, this one starring Bill Bixby as David Banner. Sorry, not Bruce. But hey, maybe there could be an alternate timeline.
Like the name Bruce, they thought
Bruce something was like that. So funny. Every story about a troubled mind returning to his family's dinner table for the holiday, Banner has to confront his demons. He also has time to save the Banner family farm from the incongruously evil pairing of crooked real estate developers in a play of bugs. Not your typical
real estate developers. Where's the Scooby Gang when you need them?
They're worse than like a super villain, man. I'm telling you. You know, I used to really be like,
honestly, they're really fucking up the country now. You want to know why you can't buy a house?
Well, I used to be like, how could Lex Luthor become president? And then I was like, oh, okay, got it. My last but certainly not least is my favorite comfort show of all time, folks. It's How I Met Your Mother. Come on, it's Slapsgiving, season 3, episode 9. Now, if you remember, Marshall won a bet for 5 slaps against Barney because there was this bet that went down. Barney slapped Marshall. Turns out Barney was not right, so Marshall gets 5 slaps because Lily was the slap judge.
Bet commissioner.
The bet commissioner, yes. As Lily and Marshall host their very first Thanksgiving as a married couple, Barney remains on edge in anticipation of the 3rd slap.
I love it. That's like
bets.
So much worse because you never know when it's going to come. It's the anticipation.
Marshall keeps teasing it. He's got the countdown going and everything.
I love it. He has his hand up.
Meanwhile, this is when Ted and Robin sleep together the night before. And dude, honestly, like I know like the whole end game was Ted and Robin, but like I really love early How I Met Your Mother because Ted and Robin, for all their differences, I thought they were always really good together if it wasn't going to be Victoria. Victoria was like the end game.
I really liked Victoria. I hated when they
Victoria
made her
was
that
it.
shit. It didn't.
Oh my God.
make sense.
I hated that. They have Victoria come
was-
in and then she ditches her wedding, the German guy or whatever, for Ted that day. It's like, no.
I feel like they did that because we all fell in love with her and wanted that to be the mom. And
They
they were like,
needed
okay,
us
we have
to
to make
hate her.
people not like her. Yeah, but she was so good. I did not like that.
And of course, we didn't get enough time to spend with the actual mom to really endear ourselves. Like the whole last season should have been about the mom hanging out with the crew and Ted's relationship growing. And then the penultimate episode should have been Ted proposing to the mom. And then the final episode could be their wedding and then close out with them talking. Now, I
should have been them on the front porch because she passed the front porch test.
Exactly. Instead, they screwed it up. They decided that Ted and Robin were going to be the thing. And so they had to circle. Anyways, that has nothing to do with Slapsgiving. I would love to slap the writers.
We need an episode on terrible endings. When you finish Supernatural,
I've pitched that to you so many times. Yes, we will.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, so essentially this is fun because
Dexter, How I Met Your Mother.
Marshall, Game of Thrones, she very much just teases the slap the whole time. And it has Barney just, he plays it perfectly and the slap. And God, this is my comfort show, man. For all its faults in the end, I still love this show. It's like my version of Friends. Like for a lot of folks, Friends is theirs. This is mine. Because I grew up with How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah, it was a newer one. I remember the first time I saw it, a friend of mine was watching it, and I was like, "Why are there legal books in the background?" Because I was in law school at the time.
He's
and
an
like, "Oh, one of the characters."
lawyer.
I think I was actually picking up Kaylee from Brandy, and she was watching it, and I was on my way home from law school, and I was like, "Those are like torts books in the background."
What are we doing?
Nobody has those books just chilling in the background.
Marshall does.
I digress.
Marshall
he does.
He probably doesn't. But do you have any final wrap ups? Those are all of mine. I'm sure if anybody out there, by the way, they have a favorite of theirs, drop it to us. We'll more than happy to read that off, man.
Yeah, a couple people did mention. Megan mentioned Modern Family, so that one I saw that one.
I never got into that show, but I have seen that one pop up on lists too.
But yeah. Mason from Facebook also said How I Met Your Mother. And then Maynard Brewer on Threads said Friends and WKRP, which I had to actually Google that one. It is
What's WKRP? He sent me a video of it actually and said, this is what I was talking about. And I was like, I've never actually seen this before.
I thought it was an acronym for a show like How I Met Your Mother. And
I thought it was like Frasier or something.
Wow. Frasier probably has a good one. I just don't remember that show.
I'm sure it does. Yeah. I don't either.
And then Design by Alva on Threads said, Bob's Burgers. He said every Thanksgiving episode Bob's Burgers.
Whatever the adventure, there's a BMW engineered to take it on. The X3 delivers a striking design with agile performance. The 100% electric i4 packed with pure electric energy. Or the plug-in hybrid X5, an impressive, versatile SUV granting full control on every journey. Choose what powers your next adventure during the BMW Road Home Sales Event. BMW, the ultimate driving machine. Hurry in for exceptional offers through January 2nd. Visit BMWUSA.com for details.
I think that was what you were even talking about before. And
I didn't see a reply to them.
That's my favorite thing to watch.
Oh, dude, yeah, the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. That is definitely one that it's Carrie's like favorite thing to watch. Me, I don't really care. Football. Now I probably get to watch I actually get to watch the Green Bay Packers play the Miami Dolphins this year on Thanksgiving.
Miami Dolphins.
7 o'clock.
The greatest football team.
All right, we're going to end it right
there. They passed the ball from goal to goal like no one's ever seen.
Yeah.
Because we're
that's what we have. We're not Miami Dolphins. No, we're not. But the parade is, there's something just like fun about seeing the floats, all that kind of stuff.
Yes,
I
it
do
ends
really
with
enjoy.
Santa. And I'm a former guard girl, so I love when I see some actual spinning, not just some like, like spin that rifle. Do it.
Did I ever tell you how I was dating a girl who was at school in Chicago? Well, I went there for Thanksgiving one year and I come out the subway. I'm trying to figure out how to get to her apartment. I took this train to there. Didn't know where I was at. I somehow ran in the middle of the Chicago Thanksgiving parade right in front of Santa Claus. I did. Like, it felt like it was out of I did. Like I ran in front of Santa through the parade. It felt like I was on a sitcom because I ran through this parade as Santa's coming. And I was like, I don't know where I am. I'm in Chicago somewhere. I don't know. I'd never been to Chicago before at that point.
Like cops on horses escorting you away.
Well, yeah, I bolted. Like her apartment was like right on the path of everything. So like I saw it, figured out where I was finally. And I was just like tunnel vision at the time. And I just ran. Crazy. crazy. That was my big grand Thanksgiving story. But thank you guys for checking out this episode. If you enjoyed it, by all means, share with a friend, like we said. Next week's episode kicks off our Christmas season. Believe it or not, we are already, not to put stress or pressure on everybody, but it is Christmas time.
And to cross off that list.
And what better way to start Christmas than to talk about the 1992 film Batman Returns, starring Michael Keaton, Danny DeVito, Christopher Walken, and a very, very good-looking Michelle Pfeiffer. So that is what we're talking.
Gorgeous, yeah.
We will be actually foregoing all of our normal topics because we're going to record that a little bit ahead of time, as I am going to visit family. Thanksgiving's busy. And so make sure you guys tune in for that episode, releasing on Monday, December 2nd. That kicks off December, the month of December. We're here. Anybody who's listening out there, thank you guys so much. We are thankful for all of you checking and tuning out this show. If you like it, thank you. Please keep returning. If there's something we messed up on, hopsgeeknews@gmail.com. Let us know. As you see, we love to call out corrections, shout you out. What you got?
That's it. Thumbs up.
You're pointing at me.
I like it.
And until next time, folks, have a very, very good Thanksgiving if you celebrate it. If not, man, I just hope you get to have some good food, chill out, enjoy a couple days off from work. And we will see you guys next week. Like I said, with Batman Begins.
Go Fins.
Cheers. Oh my God. Go Pack, go.
Whatever the adventure, there's a BMW engineered to take it on. The X3 delivers a striking design with agile performance. The 100% electric i4 packed with pure electric energy. Or the plug-in hybrid X5, an impressive, versatile SUV granting full control on every journey. Choose what powers your next adventure during the BMW Road Home Sales Event. BMW, the ultimate driving machine. Hurry in for exceptional offers through January 2nd. Visit bmwusa.com for details.
Looking for excitement? Chumba Casino is here. Play anytime, play anywhere. Play on the train, play at the store, play at home, play when you're bored. Play today for your chance to win and get daily bonuses when you log in. So what are you waiting for? Don't delay. Chumba Casino is free to play.
Experience social gameplay like never before. Go to Chumba Casino right now to play hundreds of games, including online slots, bingo, Slingo, and more. Live the Chumba life at ChumbaCasino.com. VGW Group. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
All right, we're all set for the party. I've trimmed the tree, hung the mistletoe, and paired all those weird-shaped knives and forks with the appropriate cheeses. And I plugged in the Bartesian.
Bartesian?
It's a home cocktail maker that makes over 60 premium cocktails, plus a whole lot of seasonal favorites, too. I just got it for $50 off. So, how about a Cosmopolitan or a mistletoe margarita?
I'm thirsty.
Watch. I just pop in a capsule, choose my strength, and...
Wow, it's beginning to feel more seasonal in here already.
If your holiday party doesn't have a bartender, then you become the bartender. Unless you've got a Bartesian, because Bartesian crafts every cocktail perfectly in as little as 30 seconds. And I just got it for $50 off.
'Tis the season to be jollier.
Add some holiday flavor to every celebration with the sleek, sophisticated home cocktail maker, Bartesian. Get $50 off any cocktail maker at bartesian.com/cocktail. That's BARTESIAN.com/cocktail.
Whatever the adventure, there's a BMW engineered to take it on. The X3 delivers a striking design with agile performance. The 100% electric i4 packed with pure electric energy. Or the plug-in hybrid X5, an impressive, versatile SUV granting full control on every journey. Choose what powers your next adventure during the BMW Road Home Sales Event. BMW, the ultimate driving machine. Hurry in for exceptional offers through January 2nd. Visit bmwusa.com for details.
It can get lonely climbing Mount McKinley, so to entertain myself, I go to ChumbaCasino.com. At Chumba Casino, I can play hundreds of online casino-style games for free, like online slots, bingo, Slingo, and more. Plus, I get a daily login bonus. It's just too bad that up here, I don't have anyone to share my excitement with. Woohoo! Woohoo!
Live the Chumba life. Anytime, anywhere. Play for free now at ChumbaCasino.com. VGW Group. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
All right, we're all set for the party. I've trimmed the tree, hung the mistletoe, and paired all those weird-shaped knives and forks with the appropriate cheeses. And I plugged in the Bartesian.
Bartesian?
It's a home cocktail maker that makes over 60 premium cocktails, plus a whole lot of seasonal favorites, too. I just got it for $50 off. So, how about a Cosmopolitan or a mistletoe margarita?
I'm thirsty.
Watch. I just pop in a capsule, choose my strength, and...
Wow, it's beginning to feel more seasonal in here already.
If your holiday party doesn't have a bartender, then you become the bartender. Unless you've got a Bartesian, because Bartesian crafts every cocktail perfectly in as little as 30 seconds. And I just got it for $50 off.
'Tis the season to be jollier.
Add some holiday flavor to every celebration with the sleek, sophisticated home cocktail maker, Bartesian. Get $50 off any cocktail maker at bartesian.com/cocktail. That's BARTESIAN.com/cocktail.